Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to be giving you directions for your Algebra Chapter 5 project. So to begin with, you are doing a stained glass window project, and this is going to be done on paper and then submitted online. So first of all, what you're going to do, you are going to choose 12 equations. 12 equations from the list below, so let me show you those real fast. That's going to be one of these 12 equations. Now there are 17 total, so that means that 5 of them you will not use, but it's up to you to choose which ones you want to do. All right, after you choose those, you are going to put a couple things on your work pages. You're going to write the problem of the number, the slope, and the y-intercept in the provided blanks, and you're going to write each equation in slope-intercept form showing all steps. So let's just talk about that first. So after you choose 12 equations, you're then going to start solving them involving all 3 of these things. So let's just pretend, I'm not going to do one of the problems on this, but I will just make one up so you can see what I mean. So let's say that this was number 18. This obviously is not yours. So let's just pretend that there was an 18 right here, and something went through the points 1, 1, and -7, -7. And we're going to start filling in our work page. So our number is number 18. That's the problem we're solving. Now we don't have the equation, the slope, or the y-intercept yet. So over here in our workspace is where we're going to be showing that. So first let's calculate slope. M is going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So if I were to label my coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, that's going to look like this. We've got, let's see here, -7 minus 1 over -7 minus 1. That equals -8 over -8, or 1. So I now know that I have a slope of 1. So I'm going to put that in my slope location. Now because I have 2 coordinates, first I'm going to put it in point slope form, or y minus y sub 1 is equal to m parentheses x minus x sub 1. That doesn't matter what point I choose, but I'm going to choose the 1, 1 because that one's easier. So now this is going to look like y minus 1 is equal to 1 parentheses x minus 1. Now I need this to be in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b, so I'm going to start doing that. That is y minus 1 is equal to 1x minus 1. Add 1 to both sides, and now I have y is equal to 1x plus 0. So that is what this right here is in my form, y equals mx plus b. And every single problem you have should be in the form y equals mx plus b. So my equation for that part of the answer is going to be y is equal to 1x plus 0. And then for my y-intercept, I can use that equation, and I know my y-intercept is at 0. So this is everything that I would do if number 18 were a problem. So you're going to do that with 12 different problems of your choosing. After you do that, so you've just finished all 12 of your things, you're going to then start graphing. Now there are some things that I want you to know. I'd like for you to, I'll use a highlighter, to use a ruler. I'd like for you to extend the edges, or extend your lines to the edge of the graph. They should have arrows, they should be labeled, and they should be traced over a second time with a, well, that's supposed to say black, not blank, my apologies. So that should say black, with a black marker. Still using a ruler. So let's talk about what that would look like real fast. So if this is your graph page, your lines should not be all curvy and wiggly and stuff like that. They should be nice and straight. They should also have little arrows on the ends like that. And they should be easy to see. So you're going to trace over them with a darker black marker. After that, you're going to color in between each of the lines that you drew. So just with a couple rules. You cannot create a new section. You cannot color a section in black or leave it blank, and you must use 4 or more colors. So I'm going to go down here. I have a graph that is just something that's kind of arbitrary. I just drew some random lines on here. This is not an actual solution. This is just so you can see what we're doing. Let's just pretend like these are all of the lines that I calculated, and then I graphed all of them. In between the lines that I'm graphing, I'm going to color them in. So I choose a color that I want, and then I'm going to color in that space. There are a couple things that you should be mindful of, though. It should be neatly done. Also, you cannot make up new spaces. So I cannot take, I don't know, say this color right here and decide, oh, I'm now going to put a blue box in the middle of all of this, even though that's not where lines are. So I cannot just make up a new space like that. Also, I am not allowed to color in things in black. So if you wanted to color this whole part black, I would not want you to do that. So do not. This is a no. Don't do that part, because it's going to be harder for me to be able to see your work. So just don't color anything in black, and you should have everything colored in. So there should not be blank spaces. So clearly my graph is not complete yet. And then at the edges of your graph, in the margins, each line should be labeled. And the way you're going to label it is simply by writing the equation that it goes with. So for example, this line right here is the line x equals -5. And I just made up this equation over to the other side. I don't know if this is actually what it is, but this is just to give you an idea. This line would be y equals -7/8 x plus 35. So it's all based off of what problem it is and where it is graphed, and then you're going to label it. You need to use 4 colors, and you need to make sure that they are spaced out nicely, and it's, pleasant and appealing to the eye. So you shouldn't just color, say, just quickly and sloppily all of these one color. Don't do that. Don't just say, oh, I'm just going to color them all that. No, instead you should space out your colors and make it look nice. 2 colors that are the same should not be right next to each other, but they are allowed to be catty-cornered to each other, kind of like these 2 reds are, how they share a corner but they don't share a side. After you color in your graph, that's pretty much the last part of your project other than taking pictures and submitting it. So there you have it. If you want to know the grade breakdown, that's right up here. So your work page is going to be 36 points. That is 3 points per question. And then your graphs, how are your lines neat? Are your lines labeled? Do they have arrows? Things like that. And then your presentation, did you color it neatly? Did you use multiple colors? Did you follow the directions? Does it look nice? That's 10 points for a total of 70 points for this project. All right, that's it. If you have more questions, I'll be sure to answer them later on.